Welcome to the Learn to Sew Academy channel. Please remember to subscribe. Thank you.
In this video, we're going to be working on an high-low skirt, and the dimensions we're using is for the waist. We're going to use a waist of 25. The front length is going to be 26, and the back length of the skirt is going to be 40. So we're doing a high-low skirt today. So we're going to use a waistband of 4 inches. And because we're using a waistband of 4 inches, when I start to cut, I'm going to make my front and the back less than 4 inches waistband. So the front will be 22 and the back is going to be 36 inches when we start to cut. Now what I've done here is I've folded this first into 2, as you can see. So this is where I have my full fold, and also because I'm going to be adding some pockets too. So I'm going to make sure the front and the back I'm cutting it separate. So when I fold, I'm making sure that this right here that's going to be my sides, I'm making sure that it's long enough to match the back length. That is because I want it to fall, as you will see in the picture, I want it to fall uniformly from the front to the back. So I'm making sure that this side is as long as the back length. So we're going to start to cut now, and just like we do with our circle skirts, we're going to find the radius first. Again, the waist is 25, so I'm going to add 1 inch for my allowance. That's 26. When I divide that by 6.28, I will have 4.14, and I'll approximate that to 4.25. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to work on just the front, like I said, and I'm going to start to measure the 4.25 from this edge. So from this particular point, I'm going to start to measure my 4.25. So I'm just measuring the 4.25 from that angle. And I'm going to curve that out. The total front that we need is 26 inches. And we're going to take away our 4 inch for the waist. So we're left with 22 inches. So what we're going to be measuring here is the 22 inches plus our extra 1 inch for our seam allowance. So I'm going to measure from this right here, I'm going to measure 23 inches. But I have 4.25 here already. So I'm just going to measure from the tops just to make it more accurate. So from this top, my 4.25 plus my 23 inches will give me 27.5 inches. So what I'm starting to do now is, starting from the tip, I'm going to be measuring my 27.25. That's the length I need plus this extra that I have on the top here. You may not be able to see the bottom of this because this is how much space I have, and the camera may not capture the bottom, but I just want you to know that what I'm doing is I'm just measuring that 27.25 from the very tip here. Now this again is going to be my side. This right here is my center fold in the front. So what I'm going to do now is, like I said, I want the side to be as long as what the back is going to be so that it will just flow evenly. So what I'm going to do with the side is I'm going to measure this to be the same length as what the back is going to be. My back is going to be 40 inches, less my 4 inch for my waistband. That will be 36. Now I have 4.25 here. So from here all the way down, I want to measure that my 36 inches plus 1 inch for my allowance. That's 37 inch plus 4.25. That'll be 41.25. So what I'm measuring here now will be my 41.25. So this right here is my entire length for the back. So what I want to do is I want to take this and link it to my front. This is where my front is. This right here is the length of my front when I measured it from the edge. This is the length of the front. So right now I want to connect from here and link it up to here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make it to curve as much as I can so that I link it all the way here. Again, I'm not doing a uniform. If I were doing a regular circle skirt, what I'll just need to do is to measure the same length that I have over here is the same length I would have measured all across. But for my high-low skirt, if I do the same thing, if I measure the same length, by the time I finish sewing, you will have it in such a way that it won't flow evenly the way I want this to flow evenly. So that is why I'm doing it this way. And you'll see the result in the pictures. I'm just going to make it as curved as I can and link it to the front. So this is what I'm just cutting now. I'm going to cut the waist area. So the next thing is to do the back. I will see how the back will be different. When I start to make the back is going to be the same length as this all across. That's how the back is going to be. Now, to do the back, I first fold it like this. And again, when I fold, I'm making sure that I have enough for the length of the back of the skirt. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to place the front on this. Now for the back, I'm going to have a zipper. So as I do this, I want to remember to put that into consideration. So I'm going to fold this some more so I leave a little room for my zipper. So I'm going to fold it like 1.5 inch or 1 inch more so I can put my zipper at the back. Now I'm going to place this front on top of it and align it well, like so. So what I want to do now is I want to measure my 36 inches from here. For my waist, it's going to be like this. Again, this is where my zipper goes. So this right here is my waist. So I'm going to measure, I know this is the length I want, the 36 on this side. But from here, I'm going to start measuring the same 36 inches plus my seam allowance. So I'm going to do 37. So that's what I'm going to be measuring now. And again, I'm going to be doing that from right here. So you may not see the full measurement. My table is not too big, so I'm just going to manipulate this as much as I can. And I'll make my mark. So I'm doing the same length, unlike what I did with the front. So this time around, I'm doing this 37 all across. And I'm just going to join it to what I have here. And as you can see, this aligns with what I have for the front over here. I'm just going to connect my dots. So what I'm doing is just connecting these dots, if you can see what I'm doing. So that's going to be the back And just for me to know where my zipper allowance starts from, I'm just going to put a line right here just to guide me. So now I'm going to cut the back of the skirt, following the marks that I made on this fabric. And then I'm going to cut the waist area. So because the zipper goes here, I'm going to open this up. Now this again is where my zipper goes. So this is my center back. These are the sides. I'm just going to hold the center back with this pin, so just so I quickly find it. So I've cut 2 strips of fabric for the waistband. This is because I'm going to be having a belt that we can tie at the back of the skirt. One for the front, the shorter one is for the front, and this is just half of the waist measurement. Whatever the waist is, you take half of that, you have your seam allowance. Then this is the back waistband. This right here is for the back of the skirt, and I'm going to cut this into 2. This is a longer strip of fabric. It's 3 inches longer. It also includes the seam allowance and then the zip allowance. So we're going to cut this into 2. So that will go for each side of the back of the skirt. Remember, our skirt is in 2 parts because we're putting a zipper in the middle. So this is what we have for the zip allowance, and the length of this is 4.5 when folded. So the full length is 9 inches. Remember, we're doing a 4-inch wide waistband. So that's what we have here. And again, the reason why I'm not making one long continuous waistband is because I'm going to be putting a belt. So that's the waistband. So next we're going to cut the pocket, and the pocket we're just going to cut it the way I've shown you in my other videos on cutting pockets, and I'll link that here if you want to see that. I also have another skirt that is a gather skirt with belt and pockets. I'll also link that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut my pocket. If you'd like to get a more detailed explanation, please check the link in the description and also the link on this video for a more detailed explanation of how to cut your pockets. So this is how we cut our pocket by freehand. I'm gonna cut one more of that. And as you can see, I just need 4 pieces. And each time you cut your pocket, you just need to make sure that it slants downwards, so that when you put your pocket, your hand inside your pocket, your hand slants downwards, because your pocket is not going up. It has a slight downward direction. So I'm just going to place this and cut 2 more to complete the pocket for this skirt, and then we'll stitch the skirt next. So this completes the pocket. So we have 4 different pieces, 2 for each side of the skirt. So that completes the cutting of the skirt, and we're going to proceed to stitching the skirt together. I just wanted to show you how I'm cutting the belt. Like I said, there's going to be a belt. So I'm using a length of 45 inches. I'm going to have two belts, one on each side. So this right here, this full length is 45 inches long. So I'm just using the full width of my fabric. So that's what I'll use for the length of the belt. And I'm just going to cut this into two so that I can have two long strips of fabric. So this is what I have. And I'll make the belt just a tiny bit less than the waist length. You know, the waistband was 4 inches long. That's the waistband I'm gonna be using. So I'm just gonna make my belt length. This is 7.25. So by the time I sew this like so, I'm going to have around 3.25 at the end of the day when I sew this. So that's how wide the belt will be. But the length of the belt, like I said again, this is 45 inches. But at the edge, at the tip of the belt, I'm going to slant it. This is the same way I did with the skirt on making a gathered skirt with belt. This is the same thing I did. So I'm just gonna put a little slant at the tip for both belts. So I'm gonna place this on it, and I'm going to do the same thing. And when we start sewing, I'll explain how we're going to fix this belt. Hope you like this video. Please remember to leave us a thumbs up if you do, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next video.